Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Jenkins, a clinical psychologist. I have 3 powerful mind hacks for you to end frustration and make progress now. The hacks that I'm about to share with you are based on clinical research and experience that ties directly into the psychology that supports everything that you do. You're going to want to hear all 3. The first hack is simply to breathe. I know it sounds simple, but this is an important way to take a higher level of choice and control over your own brain. Your brain is designed to keep you safe and to protect you from threat. Anytime you perceive a threat, your brain kicks you into what we call the fight or flight response. You've heard of this, right? It's a chemical infusion into your body that prepares your body to do one of those 2 things, to fight or get out of there. Most of the things that we encounter in our day-to-day lives are not things that we should be fighting with or running away from. They're problems that really require some level of thinking. When our brain is in the fight or flight mode, there's actually a decrease in blood flow to the frontal and prefrontal areas of your brain. Guess what? That part of your brain is in charge of logic, reason, problem solving. So we have to re-engage the brain, that part of your brain, to get away from the part of your brain that's trying to get you to fight or run away. The quickest way I know to do that is breathing. Here's a simple trick that you can do. It's simply in through the nose, nice and deep, stretch it a little and hold. And then out through the mouth, nice and slow. Restrict the flow here so that the exhale is about twice as long as the inhale. One way that I sometimes teach this to kids is smell the flowers and blow out the candles. If you can remember that and practice it, what happens is we condition the limbic system in our brain to chillax a little bit, to just calm down. There's no problem. And that allows the blood flow to redirect up to the part of your brain that you're going to need for the next 2 hacks. So this is really foundational. Do some breathing. Practice it. Get some reps in so that you can start conditioning and programming your brain to handle this a little differently. Here's your second hack. Now, to set this one up, my job is to illuminate the obvious. That is so cool. Think about it. I get paid to tell people things that they already know, or to show them things that they already see. But a lot of those things are in the realm of things that are obvious but unnoticed. Let's go there for a minute. Obvious but unnoticed. Like your clothing. Can you feel it? Now you can, because I've mentioned it. It's obvious, right? But you didn't notice it until it was called to your attention. Or the fact that we're speaking English. Did you notice? Oh, obvious, just unnoticed until I called it to your attention. Most of what's going on in our own mind is in that realm. It's obvious, but unnoticed. Like the fact that you can think about your own thinking. Oh yeah. Check it out. You notice now that you can think about your thinking. And this will drive you crazy, so be careful with it. We call it metacognition in the industry, in psychology. Metacognition. Cognition means thinking. Metacognition is a higher level. It's thinking about thinking. Notice that you can do it. Stay in that space for a few minutes while I share these next 2 hacks with you. The second hack, I want you to notice that you are constantly judging. Do you see it? Well, now you do. Do you see that you're constantly judging yourself, your circumstances, your relationships, the economy, the government? You're judging me. It's cool, I'm judging you. Because I can't turn it off either. We are constantly judging. Now, as you notice that you're constantly judging, notice that whatever judgment you make of whatever's going on in your life right now determines how you feel about it. When we experience frustration, it's because we're looking at what it is the way it is right now without changing anything, and we think that it should be different. Notice that you think it should be different. Now, you may even have a scenario in your mind right now where you're like, well, it should be different. Really? Who says that it should be different? I remember sitting in the office one day and I took a box of tissues and I threw it across the room and it hit the wall and fell to the floor. And my client was a little surprised by that. And she's like, what are you doing, Dr. Paul? And I said, well, look at that box of tissues over there. Where should it be? And I was playing with her, right? I was trying to get her to see this. Where should it be? And she said, well, it should be over there on that end table where it was before you threw it on the ground. Really? Well, if it should be on the end table, why is it down there on the floor? Because I threw it, and the principles, the natural laws that exist in the universe, including gravity, had that box of tissues end up right over there on the floor. Right where it is right now. It's exactly where it should be by law. Now, what law do I mean? I mean the laws of gravity, right? Physics. It's exactly where it should be. Now, I share that with you because I want you to just consider this thing that's frustrating you. Because you think that it should be somewhere or something else other than what it is. What if we could just adjust that thought to say, things are exactly as they should be? Notice that doesn't mean that it's exactly where you want them to be. Just hold on, I'll get to that in just a second. But it is exactly where it should be. Is that possible? Is it plausible that could be true? Now, what would happen if you believed, if you truly believed that things are exactly as they should be? Here's another one, that I'm right on schedule. You know, when you feel frustrated, you're thinking, oh, I'm behind, or I'm not up to where I should be. There's that should word again. Do you know for sure, like you've got some cosmic connection to the grand calendar of all things, that you are on schedule or you're not? Do you know? No. You don't know. So notice that you're taking a position about that. I've had some of my clients say, well, Dr. Paul, am I just lying to myself then? Yeah, probably. You're lying to yourself saying it's not as it should be or that you're behind the game. You don't know. But notice that you've taken a position about that. Okay, this is power. This is a psychological mind hack that can help you to overcome frustration and actually start getting some things done. Notice that you're judging it. Obviously, we're talking about things that are kind of programmed into our brain. And by programming, I mean like language. I mentioned language earlier. We're speaking English here today on this video. I was programmed to speak English by people who didn't even give me a choice. When we want to change our programming, it requires a choice, and then it requires a whole lot of repetition, a lot of practice. Staying with the language example, do you speak a second language? If you do, you know that it requires a choice. You have to choose it, and then you have to put in the work to actually get there because of the reprogramming. One of the best ways I've found to reprogram is to fill my mind with the ideas that I want to program in. I have some favorites. If you'll go to the URL that's on the screen right now, I'll give you my current top 10 list of personal development books, the ones that I have found impactful and helpful. I think you're going to like them as well. drpauljenkins.com/best books. Go take a look. Let me know where you want me to send it, and then let me know what you think about those books that I'm sharing. As we read and study and practice, we can start to reprogram our own mind. And that's going to help us to do a different kind of judgment about what's going on in our world. Here's your third hack. And this ties right back into thinking about thinking. I want you to notice that you are predicting what is to be. What's coming? What's going to happen? Notice also that you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen, neither do I. But we all have predictions, expectations, anticipations of what's coming. When we anticipate or predict or expect, that what's coming is going to be even worse than what we've already got, how do we feel? Do you feel that? That's anxiety. Some of our frustrations are based on this kind of anxiety. That, oh, it's just going to get worse and worse. You don't know that. But when you predict that, it causes those feelings. What we think matters. One of my friends put it this way. He says, what we think about comes about. What we focus on, we feel. That is so true. There's a lot of reasons why that's true. But just notice for now that you're constantly predicting. You're expecting, you're anticipating what is to be. You don't know, but you have a prediction. What would happen if you were to predict or anticipate or expect that what's coming is even better than what you've already got? How would you feel? If you honestly believe that what's coming is better, you feel hope. This is like a little kid the day before their birthday. And they're so excited because they know that what's coming is better than what they've already got. You get to choose what you predict. Since you don't know, pick a position. And I'm thinking pick one that serves you well. If you're tired of feeling frustrated and overwhelmed, if you want to actually start getting things done, this serves you very well, because with the energy that you create through feelings of gratitude and hope, puts you in a position to actually get some things done. Think about it. When you're feeling depressed, wiped out, like my life is terrible, which is a judgment, by the way, just think about your thinking. When you're feeling that, how likely are you to go do something productive? Not so much. In fact, you're more likely to make it worse. I hear about people all the time, oh, I hate my job, and the economy stinks, and the government is messing everything up. And then they go home and they yell at their spouse and kick their dog. It's making it worse, as opposed to coming from a place of positivity. I'm so profoundly grateful for the rich and abundant life that I enjoy. Now, how likely am I to go do something productive? See, it's like a power switch. It turns it on where we can actually get some things done. This is the way we can get away from the frustration that has us all trapped and move into a productive upgrade to whatever's coming next. You can probably tell from this video that it's a journey. It's not a destination. There's more to be done. Cue up that next video, how you can reprogram your mind to stay strong and positive. You're going to get some other good ideas from that one. Cue it up and I'll see you over there.